And we are live. All right, and tonight is about Sister Wives season 14, episode 9. This land is your land or hers. Hello, Robyn. How are you? Tonight kind of had me again irritated, kind of made me uncomfortable, and we'll get into that here in a second. Um, this is a recap, and if you like anything to do with reality TV or a little bit of makeup, make sure you subscribe down below. Click the notification bell. Make sure it's set to all. That way you get notifications. And if you could do me a favor and hit the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Yep, I'm here. So, once again, this episode is dragged out a little bit. It was very intense. I felt bad for Meri, as per usual. The beginning starts off that Cody sets up like a little picnic on Coyote's Pass, the land. Let me share so you can gotta keep on looking at my face, my avatar. Alright, here we go. So, they start off in the land. They're doing a picnic, and they talk about Robyn, about how she has to move because the rental they're renting now, the owners want to sell it and they can't find anything to rent. And then Meri speaks up and says that she has to move as well. So since moving, everybody moved to Flagstaff. This would be Meri's third move, technically. Second, no, yeah, third, because she moved to that one house where they didn't want sister wives near that property, so they terminated the lease. And then she went back to Las Vegas. Then she went to this big, huge house that she's out now. And those people want to sell their property instead of renting it out. So now she has to move for a third time. No, it's not. It's not. Hasn't had any changes. It hasn't had any changes. Basically, it's just the same old recycle thing. Like I think they move. Like they constantly are moving. And I think that Meri is close to leaving, and it goes into their religion a little bit. Uh, I know they are a part of the like fundamentalist FLDS church, but I think they're more like modern day because they don't follow all the rules because their daughter dates someone of the same gender and whatnot. So I think they're kind of like, modern day, and they don't follow all the rules, but they do have a rule that they're supposed to go by, that they cannot, to get into heaven, they cannot divorce, they cannot leave. But I wish that, and I also think it's the fear of the unknown because she has tried to, she got catfished one time, so she I think she tried to get out. I think that she found that as a way to try to get out. And once that was caught, she was caught and it was a catfish, then it set her back to square one. And she's probably really she fears the unknown probably. And I hate to see that people out here, either content creators or people on Twitter, that are constantly bashing these women as they are a part of the problem, but they've probably been brainwashed for so long that that's all they know. Yeah, just this season is when they moved to Flagstaff. The seasons prior, they were in Las Vegas. They didn't move until this season. But I think that she fears the unknown, and I wish she would get away because even this episode further pushed me on to that she needs to get out because some of the scenes in this episode really, really it irritated me, and it made me feel sad for Meri. But Meri said that she had to move again, and Kody talks about wanting Robyn to buy a house, but Robyn doesn't want to buy one because she thinks that's further from their goal of getting onto Coyote's Pass. And Robyn thinks like or says that Kody broke his promise because she says that her kids were thriving in Las Vegas when they put this picture together that Las Vegas is becoming something that they don't like, so they moved. So kind of find out what Kody thought because Robyn was happy in Las Vegas, and Kody promised that when they moved that they would get all of them back together, and Kody basically broke that promise because it's over a year out and they have yet to build, and I don't think they even started building yet. So they're further out from their goal of going on the Coyote's Pass. Yeah, they are brainwashed. I was talking last week about a situation that I was in when I was talking to someone in polygamy, and he knows all the right things to say, and brainwashing is even talking to someone for a very short time. They're very manipulative, and I think that's how they get polygamy to work because polygamist men specifically are very manipulative, and they can convince you of things that you never thought that you would even agree on. But yeah, she said he broke his promise, and that's from that point on is where the chaos starts. Um, Meri says that she she Meri talks about how she doesn't want to live, or she doesn't know if she wants to live back, in a corner here. And I'll bring this up here, this picture here. Meri is in the lower right-hand corner, or left-hand corner, lower left-hand corner, and she says she's not for sure if she wants to be in the trees because it's dark. And Robyn says that Kody told her that Meri didn't want to be in that spot anymore, so Robyn was going to take it. And Meri said, I didn't say that. She said, I don't know. Now, all of them are ganging up on her, but like, no, you said you didn't want it. Looked at last week's episode. She said, I don't know. I like the trees, but I'm noticing that the house that I'm in, it's right in the middle of the trees, and the house is really dark. I don't know how far back I want to be. She doesn't know how far back she wants to be from the trees, which is very different than saying I want to be in the trees. Uh, and, footage don't lie. So there's that, and Kody says that Meri liked the Cottonwood property because of the trees, so he assumed that's where she wanted to be at. While explaining all this, Kody says Meri got what she wanted, the trees, so what's the problem now? So as if, what's the problem now? Like, she's always got an issue. Now, if you look at this diagram, it looks strange to me. It seems like you got Kristina on one side of the pond, then you got Janelle above her, Robyn next to Janelle, and then here, all the way over in the far corner, you got Meri. Like, she's the black sheep. It doesn't seem too fair. Hi, Texas Little Star. How are you? I got a couple of people joining me. I'm excited. But as you can see in this diagram, Meri is like way off from the rest of the family. And to me, that shows the dynamic of their family. That of what he thinks of Meri is what I perceive it to be. And they're just going back and forth about the whole living in the trees and not living in the trees. And Robyn is very dramatic about it all. Um, she's she says that she feels like she's getting the leftovers and feeling like she's being jerked around. And She's crying. Robyn wants to speak her piece, and once she's done speaking her piece, because Meri lets her, she wouldn't allow Meri to say her piece, and she just walked away. Then Robyn says she's gonna go leave to go find a rental, and Meri says, "Well, I'm gonna leave too, and I need to find a rental too." While all this is going on, there's tension between Meri and Robyn when Meri and Robyn needs to be close. That's good to hear, Texas. I'm glad you're doing good. And don't worry, you're not gonna get blocked because I'm pretty sure that's you. And I just checked anyway. But I know it's you because ain't none of that people on that side really know who I am, so I know it's you. um uh like I said, they all seem like they're gaining up against Meri, saying that she doesn't want that she didn't want that property when that's not what she said, that she don't know. And but like I said, footage don't lie. Cody goes on to say, Meri changes her mind all the time. It's a game he played for 30 years of his life. So basically saying that Mary's always playing this game. She's indecisive on what she wants. And he's basically saying that their marriage has been in turmoil most of their marriage, basically. But at the when Meri and Robyn both leave in their separate cars, Robyn ends up coming back. I feel like that was her plan after she got Meri away. She came back and said that she wanted to talk about things. And she keeps on insinuating, like, I don't wanna fight about this. I don't wanna fight with Meri. But yet the whole time she's fighting with Meri. And at this time, Kristina and Gel are just like off onto the side, except for speaking up and saying, "Well, I thought that's what you said, Meri." That's the only time they speak up. But at this point, Janelle finally speaks up and says that I want people to keep in mind that whoever gets the tree property has to know they are closer to the pond, so people will be around the area. And Janelle remembers when they lived in Lehi, Utah, in that one house, Meri didn't like it when the kids would cross from her part to get to the other side of the house. She didn't like all the traffic coming through her house, so everybody had to leave from one exit from the outside and go all the way around up the stairs to the other property or to the other side because Meri didn't like all the traffic. And I think that has a lot to do with just having one child. They only have one child between Kody and Meri. And when you don't have that many kids, like me being an only child, I kind of understand that point of view, as in like you're not used to all the commotion of like 10 other kids. So I get that point, but at the same time, this is the life you chose. You know what I mean? That is so weird. I so weird. Unless I hit that, I don't. That is so weird because I don't mind you being a wrench, but I didn't click on that. That is so weird. Sorry, I'm distracted. Because I seen you have a wrench next to it. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't click that button. Maybe I did. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Robyn goes on to say that she will take whatever's left over. Oh, we're talking about the sister wives and polygamy in general. Um, they're on season 14. episode 9, and that's what we're talking about is the whole sister wives and polygamy. And I give my experience here and there. Very vague, but I give my experience. But next up, Cody. Uh, Robyn says that she'll take whatever she wants, and Cody responds by saying that she's already gotten everyone's table scraps, and does she really think that's fair to stop defending Meri and stop acting like that Robyn isn't getting the shitty end of the stick? And in the private interview, Cody says that he is sick of trying to accommodate Meri. So it's always Meri's wrong, Meri, 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 Meri. Then Cody says that it's a game that Meri has played from day one, and he points to Janelle and Kristina and says, and she treated them, and then Janelle interrupts and goes, this isn't going to solve anything. Like, I think he was going to keep on going on to talking about Meri, but Janelle intercepted because, well, she doesn't want him to air their dirty laundry, which ain't that the point of a reality show? Is it to air your dirty laundry? I would never do a reality show because I don't want to air my dirty laundry. You know what I'm saying? To each their own. But we're not here. We don't want to see something scripted. If we want to see something scripted, we'll watch a damn movie, you know? I know, 14 seasons. 14 freaking seasons. I can't believe that they've even gotten through 14 seasons. 14 seasons of what? Probably 14 seasons because they're, you know, drawing everything out. Like, I'm tired of hearing about trees in this damn episode. I'm sitting here watching it back, and I think I've written trees in my notes 10 million times because they draw out certain situations. Like this whole property thing. It's the whole storyline of season 14, which becomes quite boring. But then, moving on, after not wanting to air their dirty laundry, Cody then says that Meri won't be happy until the other women are bowing down to her feet. And he wanted to keep on going again. And once again, Robyn and Janelle interrupt and goes, I don't think it's like that at all. So he keeps on bashing Meri. It's like a bash fest. That's what they should have called it. Season 14, episode 9, Let's Bash Meri. Is what it should have been called. She said, Robyn goes on to say that she doesn't know what goes on between Kody and Meri behind closed doors, which I don't know for a fact, but I call BS on that. I'm pretty sure that Robyn knows a lot of what's going on, hence why a lot of times she's very emotional about stuff and has a very crybaby attitude because Cody tells her one thing behind closed doors when it could actually be another. I think it's bullshit to sit there and say, oh, we live separate lives. We don't know what goes behind closed doors. I call bullshit because when I was, like I've said, when I was speaking with a polygamist, I knew the other people's shit. I knew what was going on. Like, come on now. You cannot say that y'all don't talk in private about the other wives. I don't for 1 second believe it. Robyn also says that plural marriage makes you disenfranchised sometimes. And she's whining as she's saying it. Then in the private interview, Cody goes on to saying that he's tired of trying to make people happy, or one person happy, hint, aka Meri, and that he feels like he should just, ended up saying, you know what, this is what you get, suck it up, Buttercup. I'd be damned if I let anybody tell me, suck it up, Buttercup. Forget that. But that's that one scene, the whole picnic scene and them walking around. And it's funny to the end, towards the end of this is when it gets all funny and shit. Like y'all are sitting here arguing about property, and there's a reason why they shouldn't even be talking about the property. But the next scene goes on to Janelle and Christine just walking on a trail, and talking like, "Oh, yeah, that was crazy yesterday. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, yeah." Back and forth. That's pretty much all that was. Oh, and besides that, Janelle wants to convert the pond into, like, a little park, but Kody isn't okay with that. Then it goes on to the next scene where they gather at Kristine's to discuss the property issues. Kody is late because he's at the lawyer's office talking about the property. When Kody does finally arrive, well, before he arrives, the tension was high between all the women. When Kody does arrive, he seems very happy, and although the first thing that comes out of his mouth is that there's no rentals because the houses in Flagstaff are starting to sell. Like, people are wanting to sell because business is booming, and the house rentals or the sale of houses, they're booming. That matter of fact, the lawyers told him that he should keep that property, he should build houses on that property, but never move into them because he could sell them for a high dollar. And the wives are pissed that he keeps on thinking about investment deals and not worried about building actual houses for them to live so they can get all back together. Now, when they all sit down and everything gets serious, Cody is this is where it gets to be uncomfortable for me and where the whole brainwashing comes into play. And that I know for a fact that polygamist men, especially, can be very manipulative and very, it just irks me. All right, Texas. But this is where it turns very cringy, and my heart was like sunk when I seen all this. Cody is stern with Meri, and he gives her like this death stare. Like, my ex-husband was abusive. I've, and he's even admitted that when he got drunk, he was abusive. So the way I act around men is different nowadays because of that. Like, it changed me. So if a man was looking at me like the way Cody was looking at Meri, I'd be terrified. It was bad. He would not let Meri finish a sentence, which is a sign of abuse, whether it be mental or physical. Because, like I said, in my ex-husband, my best friend, she ended up telling me, like, after I got a divorce, "Oh, yeah, well, you know," I ain't gonna say his name. "My husband and I," is what she said. "My husband and I kind of figured that he was very controlling because he would never let you finish sentences and he wouldn't let you stay. You always had to leave early. You couldn't talk like when you wanted to talk." I'm like, "Well, damn, if you see any signs before I did, why was you my maid of honor? Why couldn't you just tell me this?" But then again, would I listen? Probably not, because love is blind, and it legit is. Like, when you have blinders on when you think you love somebody, and that goes for a lot of freaking relationships I've been into. But love can be blind, and it's shitty to say that, but it's the truth. So that's a sign of like some form of abuse or being controlling when they won't let you finish talking. And it's not like, "Here, let me finish your sentences and you finish mine." Not like that. It's when I cut you off and won't let you finish because I ain't got nothing I ain't trying to hear what you say. And that doesn't go for like friendships or anything. That goes for, like, like relationships when you can't communicate. But it's a sign of it. Doesn't necessarily mean it's that case, but I hope you get what I'm saying. But anyways, Christine keeps saying, "Let her finish." Like, she's trying to intervene, like, "Well, let her finish. Let her finish talking." Meri pauses and then she says, "It's hard with the look you're giving me, Cody." So she's feeling the tension. She feels, I couldn't imagine, well, I can't imagine, but how she's feeling when she's getting that death stare and him not letting her finish. She probably was terrified. And then Christine was like, "Well, just don't look at him. Don't look at him when you're talking to him." What? When you're talking to your husband, you shouldn't have to look away to talk to him. If he's intimidating you by you just trying to talk to him, no, you shouldn't have to look away. Now, if that's the only way she can get her sentence out, well, yeah, go ahead and do it, but you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to feel that way to be able to get a sentence out. You shouldn't have to feel like you gotta look away because you feel intimidated by that person. It's crazy. This shit had my heart like just sunk. It hurt to watch. And then they go on about Cody saying that he thought it was clear that Meri wanted to be by the trees, and then the whole trees, 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 and then she's saying, "Well, I said I don't know," and he took it as she didn't want it. But I think what Meri was saying is, if you see in this diagram here how she's in this corner, she wants to be like further up, or like maybe like over here. She wants to be near the trees, just not in the trees. And then she goes on, and as she keeps on feeling attacked, she says she doesn't want it to be an attack on her, and then she feels like it is by the way Cody is looking and talking at her. And like I write in here in big capital letters, intimidation. And Janelle goes, "Well, no, 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 no. You're not, it's not a attack on you, but you did kind of make it. We were all under the assumption that you were clear that you didn't want to be near the trees." So they kind of put it back on Meri. It wasn't an attack on Meri, rather they didn't want to think it was or not. And this whole time, Meri did not break. She did not cry or anything. But she looked like she was about to. And it was sad. Then this is where it all becomes. This is where it all. Yeah, Robyn. It was horrible to watch the way he was intimidating Meri. It was crazy. But this is where it all. I just threw my hands up in this part, like, well, what the hell is everybody getting in an argument about? Why is this even a thing? Because Christine says that she wants to start from scratch because they haven't even had a surveyor come out and check it yet. So they don't even know if they're allowed to build at them spots. Like, they legit need to have a surveyor come out and, figure out the property before they can even divvy up the property. Like, why wasn't that done first before Cody drawing up this damn diagram up here? Why didn't he have the surveyor come out first? Why is there even an argument? Because what if the surveyor says, no, you can't have no houses there in the trees? Then what? This argument was for nothing. It's crazy. Why is this argument even happening when you haven't even taken the steps to even figure out if these are where the houses can go? Because if this is where the gas line is here, what if this house isn't far enough away? Or, like I said, what if you can't have a house here? Because they were thinking about moving it up to the left top hand corner and putting the house there. But what if you can't have it there? I just don't think that this argument should have been had when you haven't even figured out the important things. So I think Christine's idea is correct. How about start from scratch after the surveyor gets there and does what they do and measuring the property lines and whatnot? But they shouldn't even had this discussion till after that happened in the first place. But that's pretty much all what happened. And then they go into having a little prayer, and Meri, after the prayer, she freaking jetted out the door. I mean, I ain't never seen Meri move as quick as she could. I mean, I never seen her move as quick as she did. But yeah, she jetted out. They talk about the next episode where Robyn thinks God is telling her that there's gonna be a rental scene, so she's holding out. "There's gonna be a rental. God tells me there's a rental coming." And then Cody says, "No, God is telling him that they need to buy." To each their own. What you believe in is what you believe in. If you wanna believe in a God, so be it. If you wanna believe in a pencil, so be it. I have nothing against anybody who believes in whatever they wanna believe. Me personally, I'm not an atheist, but I'm no religion. I That's just the way I am. I like I said, I'm I'm not an atheist, but I'm not, like, Christian or anything like that. I just feel like when you die, you die. That's just my opinion. So to each their own, but to say, "Well, there's gonna be a rental. God's telling me there's gonna be a rental," when you had 6 weeks, now you're dwindling down to 2 or 3 weeks. Like, come on now. Get a grip. You need to figure out something. I mean, and no offense to what anybody's religion is, but you gotta stop relying on God when it comes down to whether you're gonna have a roof over your head or not. And then after that, they go into next week about them talking to the kids about having to move, and the oldest daughter, which I do believe is one of the ones that Cody adopted, because I think he adopted, her 2 oldest, which would be the boy who is autistic and then a girl. And apparently she has really bad anxiety, and when she gets stressed out, it gets bad to where she can't walk and all, which I understand that, I get that too. And, he ends up picking her up and carrying her to her room. So, hopefully she was alright, because I know how that can be with anxiety, but that's what's gonna happen next week. That's all they gave us. They didn't really give us too much, just the scene of him and Robyn telling the kids. That's pretty much all that they were talking about in that scene. They were pretty quiet on Twitter. Um, Janelle was the only one talking. Some things were just like little, I wouldn't say stupid, but like just, stuff like talking about the trails and all that. She did talk about some other things, about Robyn, and I do believe she's talking about Without a Crystal Ball on some of them. Uh, but I'll get into that. I'm just gonna make a video on that. I haven't been making that many videos. I've been having so much stuff going on. This month it marks the 6-year anniversary of my mom's death, so I've been kind of taking that a little bit hard this month. And to perk me up, I went out and got a new car. So I've been working on stuff with my car and doing little details to it. So I've been trying to focus my energy and my mind on something else. But I'm gonna get back into doing videos, and that'll be coming out tomorrow, hopefully, about Kristine's tweets, and we're gonna talk about that on one of the videos. But with the other people on Twitter, Cody hasn't posted in 5 days, Meri hasn't posted in 6, and it's been since February 23rd since, Robyn had posted anything, so this is very serious. So, a very serious, heated episode to where I don't think any of them wanted to talk because they'd be like, "Oh shit," like what did we just do? Because we're kind of get airing out a little bit of our dirty laundry, which we don't want to do. But yeah, I think it's an argument that shouldn't even been had when the surveyors wasn't even out there. And I noticed, and now this is just hearsay, and this is just my opinion. There's been talks about Robyn being pregnant because she hasn't been photographed. She hasn't had any pictures on uh, social media. And I've noticed, and Robyn has always been like the whining type, but throughout this whole season, she's been extremely whiny and has cried a lot. Especially in this episode, she was crying, saying, "I ain't got time for this. Not today. I can't do this today." and as if there's reasons why she can't be upset by this. I'm honestly, my opinion, the speculations people are saying about her being pregnant might be true. I think maybe if 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 my opinion, allegedly, if she is pregnant, it makes sense why she's emotional, extremely emotional, and why she hasn't been seen in pictures because you see Christine doing videos. I'm not for sure about but cause to me she's the more of a boring one because she just does whatever. She's a Cody. She's just like Cody. Uh, but you'll also have Meri posting pictures of her LuLaRoe clothing, and so has Christine. So you ever seen anything of Robyn? So I'm thinking she might be. If not, then she's just extremely emotional about all this. Anyways, um, there's something else I wanted to touch on. Have a good night, Texas. There was something else that I wanted to touch on. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, just a reminder that I still to this I had my last video on this, my last live stream. I had talked about without a crystal ball on her getting blocked by Janelle for pretty much mocking the way that who raised who and who actually went to work and everything. And she still carry on with her shenanigans of mocking these women and everything. And like I said, they are to blame on a lot of stuff, but I still think that we shouldn't do that. I think that, like I said, they probably have been brainwashed. Um, it's part of their religion, to follow and command of what Cody says and everything. And I really do wish that Meri would step away. And I think she would if it wasn't for the fear of the unknown. Because, like I said, with the catfish, I think that she was trying to ease her way out, but then it was exposed and come to find out it was catfish. So that probably put her even back into her shell even more. Even on this season, you see that Meri doesn't speak out a lot. And this is the first time that we've ever seen Meri this season speak out as much as she did about this whole situation. Because any other situation, like the one house idea, she's like, I'm waiting for everybody else's opinions. She's not speaking out on a lot of things because I think it's the fear of the unknown. She's trying to stay in her lane, to stay in her place. And I think it's the fear of the unknown is what's holding her back from leaving. Because I know she can make it financially. I mean, she's got the LuLaRoe, even though I think it's a shitty company to work for, the whole MLN crap and them going, I think, bankrupt. I think. I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure. That's not fact. But with the whole LuLaRoe thing and with her bed and breakfast that she has, I think that she could very well make it on her own. I think it's just the fear of the unknown. Speaking of that bed and breakfast, they are selling Rice Krispie treats. I've seen on Twitter that they are selling Rice Krispie treats that you can order and they will ship it to you. um, but yeah, I think there's still hope for Meri to get out, and I wish these other women would too. But I think the more that people sit here and bash them and mock them, and yeah, call them out on their bullshit when they do shit wrong. Because I mean, they're not saints. Nobody's a saint. Call them out on their bullshit, but watch how you go about it, because you're just pushing them women further back from wanting to leave because they don't want to leave when they sit there and see people bashing them, he's like, well, if I leave, this is what I got to look forward to. I think we should be there, be like, listen, I don't agree with what you're doing. That's fucked up. This is fucked up. That's fucked up, whatnot. But I'm here for you. Like, not saying I'm here for you, but like, I stand behind you if you leave. I think that we should be there to promote them and lift them up give them the confidence to leave. Because there's one thing in polygamy that I've seen is that these polygamous men like to tear down women to get them not have the confidence. They want you to have confidence in a way. How do I explain it? They want you to have confidence, but in the same token, they don't want you to have too much confidence because they don't want you to stray away, I guess is the good way to put it. Like I said, polygamists, the men especially, are very, very manipulative. And it could be said for some of the wives, for the die-hard wives who think there is not a thing wrong with it, and they're kind of like also a man, but not a man. You know what I'm saying? I could see that. Like I don't see that in any of these women. I've known other polygamists personally that I've seen the submissive wife, the domineering wife, the man, the one in their in their shell. So I've seen all these types, and Janelle's not like that. Meri's not like that. Robyn's kind of she's borderline, and Kristine's not like that. I think they do have a chance to get away. Do I think Robyn will ever? No. That would be one I wouldn't. But I really do feel like these women have a chance because, like I said, I've seen where you have certain women who are gung ho for it and are just the big cons, just like the man. And that's what they are. I feel like polygamous men are cons because they kind of into anything. They're like a used car salesman. Yes, that's going to be my new slogan. Polygamous men are like a used car salesman because they can get you to believe anything and they can get you to go for anything. Now, you're going on your own free will, but they will convince you. Like if this marker is red, but they say it's purple, polygamous men can convince you that it's fucking purple. So they're just that good. Let me tell you. No by experience. But anyways, that's all I have for tonight. I'll be back next Monday at 10 p.m. I was like 10:15 tonight, which I'm trying to hopefully get on a 10 p.m. mark. But I'll be here next Monday at 10 p.m., same time, same place, Eastern time, to talk about the next episode. I am going to start getting into 90 days before the 90 days fiance, or 90 Days Fiance before the 90 days. There we go. I do have a story coming up about Jeffrey. And I also, like I said, have a story about Christine or Janelle's tweets coming out. And I'll probably squeeze in a makeup video. I'm trying to think of how I want to do it, but yeah, I got a couple things planned coming up. So if you like reality TV and makeup, be sure to subscribe down below. And it's not going to always be like this, like with the and all that stuff. I am new to doing the whole live streaming on my own, so I do apologize. Bear with me. I'm doing this now while there's not that many people watching, so that way, it gets easier. And by the time, hopefully, I get a little bit of a following, I'll be a pro at it. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, like I said, if you like reality TV and makeup, make sure you subscribe down below. Hit the notification bell. Make sure it's set to all so that way you get notified anytime I upload any updates or whenever I go live. And if you could do me a favor and hit that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. So yeah, thank you to the people who joined me in chat. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, I will talk to you all later. Oh, and remember, it's always better to be on the outside of the drama looking in. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.